We do read newspapers, we watch news channels. I mean, we are aware about all those things happening around, right? When it comes to Jana Gana Mana, it's entertainment. My perspective of showcasing a film, it's entertainment in one side. I wouldn't go for a political statement or something because, and I wouldn't say my politics, my cinema. My point is, yes, everybody should need to have his or her own politics. That is it. It's very important what we take from a movie, in the same way what we take from a conversation, what we take from media, what it is very important. It is up to us what we can take, how much we can take. That portion we'll have to decide. After releasing the trailer, it became a huge hit, and what happened was like I had a because we can't underestimate the audience. So the audience might come in with a boom blast or something like, because already they are in a ride of KGF and Triple R and all those things. I was really scared, to be honest. That term, right? That also we started talking after your review. Social, are we all social experiment? That's a real great thought, man. Social experiment. That's nice. A lot of people ask me, why did you show all those flashback scenes when you reveal too much, man? That revealing, worked for major target groups. Okay. Whereas it did not for for people like us. And suddenly, after the fight, that's a message from Footsteps. Dijo, this is your movie. We want it in the best way. Listing will say this and that. You shoot it like what you want. If Prithviraj Sukumaran had said a no, whom would I place it there? Thank you so much, man. I mean, I am literally having goosebumps when you're saying all this work.
Hello everyone, welcome to Film Pact. Courage is the ladder on which all the virtues mount, thus goes the saying. And if we have to take shelter in any recent day inspiration in the country that evokes this necessary virtue of courage in us, it will be Jana Gana Mana, the new Malayalam movie for many of us. Today we have with us the man who has inspired us with his art, ideas and courage in the form of his brilliant feature film. We have director Dijo Jose Antony joining us today to discuss film Jana Gana Mana and the inspirations behind. Welcome Dijo, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, hi guys, hi, thank you so much.
It's awesome to have you, and thank you for that awesome movie as well. And yes, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, man. I mean, I'm so happy, Roop, Shubhadeep, and Ashmita. So glad you guys are here, and thanks for the reviews, man. Wonderful reviews. I've been watching all this. Even I do all these things, man. I do watch the YouTube comments as well. So thank you to you guys. Tell me.
Dijo, my first question to you is that the film most interestingly has a lot of reference to real life incidents happening in the country over the last decade. So, what was this process of getting the facts molded into fiction and then sink inside the story? Or did the story itself evolve from the real life facts you were most concerned with?
To be honest with you, I mean, the first question itself is a real solid one, man. So, yeah, I mean, getting into the question, yeah, actually, we do read newspapers, we watch news channels. I mean, we are aware about all those things happening around, right? But when it comes to Jana Gana Mana, it's entertainment. My perspective of showcasing a film, it's entertainment in one side. I mean, I would say in all sides, it is entertainment. So before getting into all those real life incidents, initially my writer, Sharis Mohammed. So he came to me and he just narrated a 5-minute thought, because that was just an idea. He said, so I initially just the 5 minutes, just think of it. It was the idea that hooked me. Okay. So he narrated and then he said, till 4 minutes, my first movie, that was Queen. Okay. So that also had a co-drama and thing. So, but for Queen, I had two writers. One of the writers was Sharis. So he came to me, this is his independent thing. And then he came to me and this 4-minute long narration did not evoke anything. Okay. So I was like listening. This is precise, just 5 minutes. We used to sit in, there's a Marine Drive here. And then we sit there. And then the 4 minutes was like, okay, I've heard of this. I've seen this. Okay, go on. And at the end, okay, the last 30 seconds was like, what? What did he say? Then he said, no, Sharis was saying, no, Baba, I was just thinking, what if? So I said, yeah, what if? That's what. Okay, let's do it. So that was the thought. Maybe you guys also might have got that same what if, what the
Yes.
Correct.
same question was there. I mean, that evoked me in that 5 minute narrative. But in that 5 minute narrative, there was nothing like all these real life incidents or anything like that. Okay, it didn't have any of those sorts. I would say nothing. Just a single one line, a hero and then a villain, something. It's a pure narrative entertainment movie. And then we started to build on the script. That's when we thought of, okay, these things came into my picture. Starting from the JNU incidents, all those things. But if you watch the movie, you'll get to see that it is not the actual JNU incident. It is totally different thing. But what I did was I wanted it to be similar. Or when you guys watch it, you'll feel like, oh, अरे बाबा ये तो वही scene है ना.
Hmm.
नहीं ये कुछ और है. So I wanted that thing to be there.
Okay.
So I throughout the movie I wanted that thing to be there, and I think that was how we built the whole thing.
Okay. No, it was very interesting because, like what I said in my review also, it felt like we also as audience are part of a social
Yeah.
experiment. Because by the end, like you said in the last 30 seconds, you were like, oh, what? Are you serious? I think all of us were like shell shocked that, okay, we have been manipulated exactly how, the movie is also suggesting. So I think those parallels were amazing.
No, Ashmita, same thing. So we were just worried about the first half.
Okay.
If you ask me which is your favorite, I would say my first half of the movie is my favorite film when compared to the second half, because the first half is so packed. I mean, it's throughout events, running around a murder mystery, and then it goes for an emotional thing. It's really hard. And in the first half, I was pretty sure if in a particular area you guys literally claps now, or maybe you feel like, oh, hey, Baba, we need that thing, then we were pretty sure on the second. Because then we know, I mean, you guys are literally part of those, like Ashmita said,
Yeah,
social
social
experiment.
experiment.
Yeah. So that was a major chunk. So the first half was, there are people in our industry, okay, in Malayalam audience or Malayali audience, they say the second was the best. So what we are saying is, Are Baba, we already knew second half. Even I started shooting with the second half, the core drama.
Oh,
So that was a big challenge. So that is okay. We know what is there in the second half, but the first half is the major thing. That is the reason why the second half worked.
correct. That's
Yeah.
all
And
right.
it's also like the film, or for that matter, any art should be kind of a representation of its time and space. So it feels like, 20, 25 years down the line, if we watch your film, we would know what India was, like we do for the classics. So that's one achievement you have done. I mean, we will have to show to our next generation, this was what was happening. This is the India that we are living on, and this man has captured it. It's so beautifully.
Right.
Hey, thank you so much, man. I mean, I am literally having goosebumps when you're saying all this work. I mean, to be honest, entertainment was the prime focus when Jana Gana Mana was coming, because ultimately, movie, it is true, but I always wanted to give in those the fire. I mean, when it comes to storytelling or narrative, it needs to evoke me a kick or something. Only then it could be anything. It need not be a national issue or political based movie or something. Because I still remember my favorite. There are a lot of Malayalam movies. There are a lot of Tamil movies, Telugu, everything. But one movie I still remember. I think I was in my school days and I was watching it and I was like, oh my god, that movie was Rangde Vasan.
Oh, one of my
So
favorites.
that is like, I'm so hardcore. I still feel like crying. That movie was something which I saw on that screen. I was there, my brother, everybody was there in Kerala. And then people around there, we were standing up. It was a standing ovation, literally. I mean,
Of course.
at the end, what is it? I mean, they are literally getting killed. But still, the movie gave me a lot of insights, and I think that Rang De Vasan and then Kai Poche, lot of movies are there. Okay, so gave me, uh, what do you say? So these movies are literal my inspiration. So
Right.
from there, and then lot of Malayalam movies. I'm not talking about Malayalam because I just want to let you guys know, because Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra is then Bhag Milka Bhag. Lot of fantastic filmmakers are there. We've been looking at them, and there are brilliant filmmakers from Malayalam industry, Tamil industry. We all know that. I'm not taking their names because I don't feel like. But in Bollywood, this film was one of my favorites. So that thing was there in my initial thought. If you watch my first movie, that was with a bunch of newcomers, because basically myself, I'm a new filmmaker getting into meeting artists and getting a date. That was real tough for me. I mean, I went in behind, to be honest, drivers of many artists also, okay, just to get a meeting, and then I couldn't get hold of them. And then what happened was like I got a story. Then the same thing, the Rangde Basanti inspiration, the power of the youth coming in. So a lot of things came in, but then I created a different movie. That was a different one, and this is also a different one. So
Right.
this thing happens, man. I mean, yeah.
All right. So I also wanted to ask, like, what was your particular thought behind thinking of Prithvi Raj and Suraj for, you know, their respective characters as Arvind and Sajjan? Because what did you think that, okay, these actors hold these kind of attributes that they'll be fit for these roles?
That's a good question, Ashmita, because I don't know if you are familiar with Suraj when you are.
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He's a brilliant actor. Before coming to Prithviraj, I mean, he starts the movie. I mean, he plays a vital role in the movie. So,
Right.
Suraj Munyaramud, when he was doing the role, I mean, before getting into the role, I went in and narrated the story. He literally he's a very charming guy. He was a comedian. Okay, comedian turned, I mean, national award winner. Definitely. And then he himself turned into a very vital character role thing. So when myself and my writer, we were discussing, okay, then initially the first face that came into my picture was Suraj Vanyaram
Okay.
for Sajjan Kumar, because it is true. He's a very something like Article 15. Ayushman Khurrana plays Article 15, right? Or maybe Amir Khan in Thalash.
Right.
So those were my references, because
Okay.
the reason, because these incidents, the Malayali crowd, I mean, or the Malayalam audience might not connect if I do this in Malayalam terrain or maybe in Kerala. So
Okay.
that's the reason why I want to set it up somewhere after Kerala, or maybe in South India, or maybe in the middle area of India. So if you see that was a different, because all these, that is the reason why I added Hindi dialogues. I mean, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, everything. It was a mixture. So that's it basically to get it an Indian attribute. Okay. Then coming back to Suraj, I narrated him. The first thought for Suraj was because he has a genuine, what do you say, goodwill, you know, in Malayalam industry. I mean, he's so sweet. So that's the reason why, and I was pretty sure he's the one guy who can do this. But on narrating, we were 0% sure whether he would say yes or no, because I know him personally. He's my close friend even after my first movie. Okay, I already narrated 3 or 4 subjects. We were all good with it, but this thing came in, and then I narrated. He said, "Okay, let's do it, man." I mean, there's a different thing, a lot of shades, you know. I mean, he plays this thing, but internally something else is going around, you know.
Exactly.
So that really attracted him. So he was like, okay, and he was so happy on seeing the audience. And then after that, meanwhile, I started. Then even Suraj also asked me, "Who's the other character, the main character?" Then I said, "We are planning for someone like Prithviraj." Then he said, "Okay, we'll go ahead, man. Let's see." And then, meanwhile, I'd sent a synopsis to Prithviraj, and then he was in shoot in Jordan. And then he came back. Once he came back, I narrated the whole thing. He was like, I mean, myself and my writer, both of us, we narrated the thing, and he was like, "Oh man, that's cool, man." And then the first thing he asked was like, "Who's playing ACP Sajjan?" Got it. Because then I said that is played by Suraj Vanyaram. Because then even Prithviraj said, "You sure about it?" Because that Prithviraj himself found another Prithviraj doing ACP Sajjan Kumar. He got it. So that's a very someone like Ayushman Khurrana, or maybe so even Prithviraj, after listening to my thoughts and things, he gave a call to Suraj and he said, "Brother, seems like something big is happening. You know, that role should have been done by Prithviraj maybe 3 or 5 years down the line. And now it seems like you are doing it. Great, man, great." And both of them were discussing, so happy. So
Right.
that moment I understood, okay, so this is gonna kick off. So, and by the way, it's not just, yeah, it is true that the director should take up the thing, everything, but I totally respect these actors, Suraj Unyaramudi, Mamta, Prithviraj, and also the production, and
Mm.
lot all, because only once they said yes, the thing started. See,
Right.
the ACP Sajjan Kumar or maybe Suraj might have thought, or maybe if he had thought something like, "Arey Baba, I am only there in the first half, and
Mm.
I don't have
Correct.
much thing to play in it. I am not gonna do this." If he had said, I don't know what will happen." And
Right.
then Prithviraj also, if he had thought the same way, I mean, he's a superstar, okay. He might
Yeah,
have
yeah.
thought something like this, "Arey Baba, I'm coming in the second half. Come on, man. I want to do Dishum things." But
Correct. Got it.
so I totally respect both of them. Not just both of them, even Mamta also. I mean, Mamta who played that Sabha character.
Yes.
If
Yes.
if she had told like, "Oh, I'm not doing," and even the producers also, what if they say, "This is not something we should do. We should go
Right.
for a small picture. This is COVID period. Let's stick on to some picture in this." So hats off to all these guys, man. And that's the reason why we built a magnum opus, Jana Gana Mana for. I mean, right now it's a magnum opus. So thank you,
Oh.
thank you all.
It is. Yeah. Also, tell us about this unique idea of putting the teaser and trailer, those scenes which is not there in the first
Yes.
film, with for
Oh my
the
God.
sequel. So, I mean, that is so unique, and that kind of does not prepare us from what is going to be there on the theaters when we watch it, right? So, how did this idea come? Was it, you thought about this thing, or it came organically because you had shot those pieces?
To be honest with you guys, it's it's marketing. That's what
Okay.
it's selling. I mean, that's a simple one line. I wouldn't say this and that because uh, the teaser trailer, it's all part of the second part. It is true, but the second part script is yet to be corrected, or
Yeah.
maybe there's a hell lot of things. But we were pretty sure about the second part. That is
Okay.
because we wanted a character or maybe many characters, because we are leaving it open ended, after watching Jana. So those characters, they have something more to add on to Jana Gana Mana. That's what so we had an intention about that. That is true. But these scenes, actually, I wanted to if I go back to my first movie, Queen, that was with a bunch of newcomers, okay, and uh, from there this thing happened. So I created a trailer that had a, in Malayalam industry, once that was released, I mean, that was really huge, okay. I mean, that got a huge appreciation, etc. But that trailer was shot for 2 days and then released maybe a week after, and that became a huge hit. And only after that, the producer, I mean, I totally respect them. They came up to me and said, "Okay, we were initially we thought of not going for this
Okay.
picture, Dijo,
Okay.
but as the trailer became a huge hit, let's do it." So
Ah.
that's what they said. So that I knew. I mean, even going for the trailer shoot, because we were going on with the fights and struggles with the producers, production. So I literally wanted to prove them, okay, Are Baba, this is something different. We'll try this and that. So it was a fight. So kind of marketing strategy was added for Queen. So,
Right.
and after the release of the trailer, it's like hell lot of calls came in. Oh, is the movie ready? We'll distribute this and that. So then, actually, the movie has not yet started that time. So then the producers came in and they gave me a heads up. So that worked that time. So that was the confidence behind, that was there in between. So when it comes to Jana Gana Mana, the problem was like, I'm a huge Marvel fan. Okay, I mean, when coming to having Spider-Man in a single screen, all those from all universe.
Okay.
So I'm a huge fan of Marvel. And then what else? I'm a huge fan of Rajamouli sir. What do you say? Bringing in a second part, different. We have all those things. I mean, everybody does. So I added two things, especially the trailer that really went. I think a lot of reactions also came in.
Oh
So
my God.
Yes.
I was shook.
so that thing, right, that the blast scene,
Yes.
that was pure intention. So initial thought was the blast came into my picture because we watched Dunkirk and all those things, and then sudden single shot and then sudden thing that was there in my mind. So then we discussed, okay, what if in the second part there was a scene? So that is how we create a
Okay.
scene. And then we thought of having a scene being shot of the second part. And after shooting the thing, I added, then I had a clear intention, okay, this is going as a trailer. Come
Yeah.
on, man. This should go as a trailer because it's after all second part. But that's a huge risk. I totally agree because after releasing the trailer, it became a huge hit. And what happened was like because we can't underestimate the audience. So the audience might come in with a bomb blast or something like because already they are in a ride of KGF and Triple R and all those things.
Right.
I was really scared, to be honest. But in fact, this thing, the movie did not have a blast scene, but it really gave a goosebumps or something. So that was all God's grace, man. Happy.
Right. Because I was like, okay, I know that none of these scenes are there in the movie. So, but I'm still excited for the movie because knowing the fact that, okay, that's something your marketing team like did really well, that without knowing what is the content of the movie, we are excited for the movie based on this particular scene, which we know is going to be in the second film. So I think that was really well done.
No. Now I think in Vikram also, Vikram Kamal sir's movie, right? And Lokesh Kanagaraj. So that also had a initial promo kind of.
Yes.
Yes,
So, but that we are pretty sure that is not in the picture. So these two things, because the basic thing why I did this was like I didn't have anything to reveal in this movie. That is my point. You understood, right? I mean,
Right.
if I throw up anything that will lose the suspense or the intensity in the movie, I can't simply go ahead with the release date but I need to show up something. The songs, it won't work. It won't work here. But when it comes to Rang De Basandi, there was ding 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 ding. So all those commercial songs was there that attracts people. I mean, and then when we get into the picture, it was a totally different. So
correct.
I didn't have anything of that sort. That was a challenge that I faced. So I literally went for a different thing. That was the second.
What really works is, yes, those scenes are not in the movie, and we are kind of used to see, highlights in a trailer of whatever is there in the movie. But here you do not show what's in the movie, but you show the theme. I mean, that's not a blast in actual, but the movie is a blast itself, as it happens in the second half.
Yeah.
So the theme gets captured. You are expecting, your expectations around the emotions you will have is set, if not
Correct.
the actual visuals.
No,
yeah.
Dijo, I mean, this is the first question when I asked you about how do you bring in such expositions with the script. So can you tell us a little bit about your script writing process? Because I'm sure because so many ideas might have come left and right and you are trying to include something and also it must be organic. Plus it also must not be over the top. So how difficult was it to overall go through this fine balance so that it just comes out right and hits the audience like in the heart? So what was the process of that?
Hey, Shubhadeep, that's a real good question. So I think the simple one line was, see, I'm not the writer, okay, but I have done a lot of things, but in the script also, that happens because the fight between the director and the writer. I think that is the major. I mean, for me, film is all about struggle, fights, and all those things. So initially, I have to fight with the writer. I mean, the writer also. We talk, we discuss, and then he puts in a lot of things. I said, "Arey Baba, ye nahi chahiye." And then when I say something, he also corrects me. Hey, Dijo, we need to have that thing. Then we discuss a lot of things. I said, no, that shouldn't come up because just imagine once you are done with the Jana Gana Mana, just think, man. I mean, there are 10 or 12 characters individually. That was real hard for me. Okay. In the writing process, okay, it is fine. Okay, this will come here, this will come here. Very good. But we'll have to showcase all those things. Right? 10 or 12 characters and the audience mind, they are already in a, total different ball game. And then suddenly showing up, okay, this is not that. Something else is coming. This character. That was a hard process. So even and also the second part that is also there. If you had a close watch on Jana Gana Mana, you will see first scene where Prithviraj goes out. Okay, there we are showing a Murthy. I mean the constable. I mean many audience missed it. So he's there. I knew many would be missing, and then he's the person who's coming to Sachin Kumar.
Right.
There's a connection. So, and then he's in the first scene, he's saying, "Sir." That means that person is not something happened to him. maybe he might be a police officer or he might be something else.
There's a backstory.
Exactly, there's a backstory. And then what happens is like this Murthy is a bridge. So all these connections, and Murthy, when talking to Sajjan Kumar also, he says, "Sir, I've seen a lot of genuine police officers like you, sir." That dialogue means we have seen. So he has a past and we have seen many. So lot of things on starting phase, also building the first scene, we had to work, and that was a huge, humongous task. So how do we describe means, so, to be honest, having 10 or 12 characters or maybe 10 or 12 movies, okay, storyline in front of you, and then we are just building another one. That was a task for us. And then, see, for particular character or maybe for a particular scene, there might be a lot of script. Then I'll have to trim it down, work with the writer. So the discussion or the brainstorming session, that really worked. That is more on the pre-production front. And having all these, and the first shoot happened on October 2020, and that was the peak time of COVID.
Yeah.
And so first shoot was the code round. And so just imagine, I was going through a hell lot of things, man. So because already the first half edit has to be there in my head. Nobody knows what is happening in the first half. Because Suraj is there, yes. The opposite advocate is there. Everybody's, even Suraj is there. But Sajjan Kumar, coming and sitting here, he's in a different mind space. So we'll have to talk to them, mentor them. Okay, brother, just hold on, give a look. So all these metering things has to be also there. Those things won't be there in the paper, right? I mean, those are the dialogues and things will come in. So the script side, definitely we had I would say 2 months. December 2019 was the day when he came in and actually told me that 5-minute narrative. And from that day, that gave us a kick. And then we started phoning up. We used to discuss, we'll start with this. And then the second scene would be something like this. And also the 4 culprits, right? That was because they are the villains, I mean, and then you would realize, okay. So all these things are there. So selecting them, or these things were already there in the script. I mean, on writing each scene, I would actually go for the other part. Okay, so for this, we need to have a 4 culprits and those images, those visuals, and having, I don't know whether you guys have gone through all those small details, like the cigarette and all those things,
Yes.
Those things were added purposefully, and then lot of other things which we literally had to remove from the script. So it was a huge task, Shuddhi. I don't know how I'll maybe one long discussion.
No, of course, because it's a process, writing a script.
Yeah, it's a process. I mean, I would that credit goes to the writer also. I mean, he's a too good, and the bonding between the director and the writer is also very important when it comes to film. So it's true that I've told a lot of dialogues. I've added a lot of dialogues. I've written. That's not the thing. Writing, that has to be someone very good at it. So I gave credits to him. Charisma.
So one thing I mentioned particularly in my review is that this movie is bound to start a discussion or a debate, and it rightfully should. And like Shubhadeep said, that there were so many instances that you took from facts and molded into a fiction, because there are instances where there are a lot of political views that are being told and narrated by the student's point of view. So I just wanted to ask, what's your personal take on contribution of students, particularly in the politics of our country at this moment?
That's a good question, Ashmita. So that is what I think we have showcased in the movie. So my thing is, we should raise our voice, and I totally respect all those who have done. Those who have done raising the voice. I'm not taking up any words or anything. I mean, any names. But in Rang De Vasanti, it was a different way of approach. In our movie, what I've told is like, that is the reason why even at the closure also, it was the rising of the students that is happening. I could have easily cut it even before the court scene ended. A
Right.
lot of people ask me, okay, brother, you could have gone for a different thing. I mean, this would have been the other side, and the movie would have spoken much more if you had given a sharp cut after the court drama.
Okay.
I totally agree with them, but I wanted to connect to my target audience was not just them. I mean, I do want to end it where I started. It all started from Sabha's murder. Okay, so
Right.
the what do you say? That is the whole movie. The Sabha's point or Sabha's perspective is what the whole movie is about.
Right.
So what she taught the students and what they are doing right now. And you
Okay.
know what? At the end, there even a lot of students are coming. I mean, waiting for them, waiting for Gauri. So that is the moment. I mean, so I wanted that to be the end. And in between, and I tried closing a lot of other characters also. And coming back to students, yes, my point is I studied in a college where politics was not there. I mean, no
Okay.
particular politics. It's a private college from engineering background. So, but there are engineering colleges, government engineering colleges where there are parties and all those things. Okay. So my personal thing is we need to have an individual political thought. I wouldn't go for a party basis or something like that.
Mm.
And party or political party or somebody should not be. It's simple, Ashmita. Just like it's an individual's thought. Like, okay, you watch Jana Gana Mana
Mm.
and you did a YouTube review or something. You
Right.
posted it in YouTube.
Correct.
People watch it. Great. That's good. We were all waiting for Ashmita's view. And I came in, and what I did is like I commented, or maybe I'm commenting, okay, great, Ashmita. I was not planning to watch Jana Gana Mana.
Right.
Okay. Just because you said watch it, okay, I'll try to watch it. That is wrong. That is my point. You
Okay.
understood? Okay, so someone's thought or someone's you have your individual thought. You can
Right.
easily share it in YouTube or Facebook or whatsoever. But that shouldn't be my thought. I mean, you
Got it.
understood
Yeah.
that shouldn't evoke my thought, and then we should flip around. It's the
Correct.
same thing with politics. There is a party or everything. If they are going for the right, at least you should understand. Okay, that is right. I'll stand with that.
Correct.
We shouldn't simply bias based on okay, this is my party, this is my everything. That is
Correct.
wrong. We should
You actually
individually have
raised a great point because it also goes with something as simple as fact checking, which we don't do. Because if
exactly
some information comes in, we think it might be true, and we probably don't fact check and decide for ourselves that
yes,
it could be
yes.
true or it could be false. So I think that's a
So
great point raised.
no, Ashwata, that is a simple example. I wouldn't go for a political statement or something
Mhm.
because, and I wouldn't say my politics is my cinema because you
Correct.
can't expect my next movie as a political drama. I wouldn't go for it. It would be another entity. But what my point is, yes, everybody should need to have his or her own politics. That
Right.
is it. I mean, I have my individual politics. Even my writer, he had individual politics.
Hmm.
Even the actors, right? They also have their own individual politics. But when it comes to cinema, we all work together for bringing in that film's politics, and that's totally different.
Right.
I
Got
mean,
it.
Right.
the same way. See, if I align to a certain party or maybe whatsoever, party can say this and that. That is party's perspective. But I should have my own perspective, and then we should think about that, and then only then we should raise our voice if
Right.
we have. Else, we
Absolutely.
should go with that. So that is our simple thing. Even the students' area or for what they're fighting initially, their fight was for the right, and then at some time point they also got, and then they came in with a placard saying sorry, 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 and
Yes.
then they got flipped and they said what the, then they started, and so that is the students right now. Our current students, or maybe even us, we are all going this side
Yes.
and that side. Even this can happen to me also. Maybe the next thing that comes. So this is usual. We just thought of bringing that in front. That's it.
Right.
And the great part of this movie is in a lot of political movies today, it's either black or white. One side is all right, one side is all wrong. In your movie, the best part is the students whom we see, they're fighting for justice. They are also manipulated. And there's also one police who stands for justice, who stands for righteousness. So that's really, really good. as I was telling you, there was only this one show at a very late night in Kolkata, and after watching it, I was talking to friends, and there was a couple of people who were saying, this is, I do not agree to this politics and all of that. But the idea is you agree or disagree. But this film shows that even if you agree, suppose I'm telling Jana Gana Mana is not the right politics and I am being manipulative. But you cannot deviate from the fact that this manipulation happens, which is also a point that the movie is raising, right? So that way it really, really works.
Arup, that is the only point. That's my point. So when your friends say, Are Baba, I totally disagree, we understand. But my point is, why are you disagreeing? Is it because something else is holding you back?
Yes.
Then that is not fair. That is my point. Think individually about each and every cases. We are not talking about these events. Those events where in real maybe that might be the truth. I mean that could be the truth, and I'm not saying that is a false thing or something. We are not talking about anything.
Correct.
It is just a movie entertainment. We just wanted to, just like what Ashmita said, are we all part of a social experiment?
Yes.
Just like when you do a YouTube review, okay, that shouldn't do that. That's my main point. That's our main point.
That was driven really well in the film.
Yes, it is.
That term, right? That also we started talking after your review. Social, are we all social experiment? That's a real great thought, man. Social experiment. That's nice. Then actually we gave an interview, and then they in one particular point I raised the same thing. I saw a YouTube video and they were saying, "Are we all part of social media?" Yes, that's a great thing. So thanks, man. Thanks.
One question which I want to ask you, Dijo, is that like Jana Gana Mana is a fantastic statement against mob justice and asserting that's its judiciary and court where justice should be served. And then like towards the end, we hear Arvind going for the politician himself, and the trailer in which Prithviraj says in the sequel that he won't be dependent on the system anymore. So are you again setting us for some trap in the second film?
Very, very, very intelligent person. So, many people, they told me like, "Come on, Baba, you created a trailer, okay, that literally had so many suspense. Why did you do that?" I'm just telling, if I had done that, then maybe a totally different thing will come up in the movie, right? I mean, we are all good. So even a lot of people ask me, why did you show all those flashback scenes when you revealed too much, man? You shouldn't have revealed that much. I'm pretty sure about my next movie. I mean, if you are doing a Jana Gana Mana part 2, definitely those scenes wouldn't be there. So you can imagine. I mean, if we can do something like this, obviously the next part would. So we'll have to work on it. That might go totally wrong. Okay, it will not maybe give you goosebumps or something. That would be a total different thing, just like the bomb blast or something.
Okay.
So I'm just attempting different genres, and so I think. Yeah, that's that's a good question.
No, I was very curious to know this, but thank you for asking this question, because I was, well, isn't he revealing too many things? Why would he do that?
I mean, Ashmita, many told me, but my question was like that revealing, worked for a major area, major target groups. Okay. Whereas it did not for for people like us, like movie buffs or maybe movie critics. Even I don't like that area, to be honest. If I had gone for I mean, that's a reality, but I placed it because my Jana Gana Mana with the title, it is for the majority.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had done this for a particular minority group, just like what we discussed previously, after the courtroom, it's a bank cut. It's a director cut, claps, accolades, that's it.
Right.
But what about the next movie? I mean, as a filmmaker who has done something like Jana Gana Mana, we should be doing something more, right? Jana Gana Mana 2 or something. I mean, I should bring in more ideas. So I should do that. So that's what then you might see Aravind Swaminathan in different area in second part.
Correct.
Totally different thing. That would be a different thing. Yeah, let's see.
Our expectations were anyway high. Now you have raised it much higher. You are again going to pull up the carpet from beneath our feet.
Nothing like that. I mean,
but Dijo, like really the clarity with which you are speaking, and now when I think about once talking to you, when I think about the court scenes and the way Prithviraj is talking about, it's like it's not just a movie where, okay, I go to learn, but it's so much entertaining. Like the entertainment quotient is the central part of it. Along with that, you bring in so many issues. This
Right.
absolutely fantastic, actually. That is the part, because we
Thanks,
see
man.
so many movies which become sermons, and like, but
Oh,
here
absolutely.
we are like on the edge of our seats watching, and we are getting the worth of whatever we are going there for, and plus we are taking back so much. It rarely happens in cinema nowadays, so that is something
Thanks,
extraordinary.
I
Subhati. And
wanted to scream. I wanted to scream. I was like, no, this will be very, because I was like, I should have been in Kerala, in a theater where people would have shouted and hooted, because I am not able to shout and clap and hoot right now.
no, but my point is that's what people should. I mean, I'm pretty sure no films, nothing can change people. I mean, but we have to change as our thoughts have to change. I mean, films, we just can do something or maybe entertain you or maybe give you a thought idea. Then we'll have to sit over, think what is right and wrong. It's just what Shubdeep told. I'll just add. I mean, we have not blamed a particular party. We have not. This is a pure thing, statement. As in, we have not. That is the reason why we have placed it in different area. Ramnagar. It is not in
Yes.
the north. It is somewhere in the south. Just
Right.
to be precise. So it's just not about blaming. I mean, I watched Rang De Basandi and I did not have a blame on a particular party. That's
Correct.
my. That's a movie. That's an entertainment. But that gave me a fire to
Right.
raise my voice or something. And that raising was, if I compare to Rang De Basandi, that was kind of killing prime minister or something. I mean, their intention was
Hmm.
totally different. I
Right.
did not go. I mean, my what I took from the movie was, okay, we'll have to raise our concerns, raise our voice. That's it. It's
Hmm.
not like I'll have to kill the prime minister, get in the morning. No, that was not my intention. So it's very important what we take from a movie, in the same way what we take from a conversation, what we take from media. What it is very important.
Correct.
It is up to us what we can take, how much we can take. That portion we'll have to decide. That is the main summary, or what do you say? What is the moral of the story, or what is the moral or intention of Jana Gana Mana is that's the main content. How much you take and how good it will evolve you as a person. I mean, it's just not based on, we are not blaming a party. We are not, we don't have any true connection with any events. That is very clear in Jana Gana Mana. I've
Hmm.
just shown a gimmicks. You might think, okay, this is that issue, but not. We have clearly shown that is not. Even this encounter or whatsoever, we are not connecting it to anybody. It
Right.
is just a movie for entertainment. That is the exact.
And as our democracy says, of the people, by the people, for the people. So whatever by the people is there, that portion we forget. It's always for the people we emphasize on. But by the
Correct.
people would also mean that I get what I have chosen, what I have deserved. If I am not doing the fact checks, if I am not thinking through things, I
Correct.
might be getting what I am getting already.
No, Arup, same thing. See, this is right now. I'm not going for a preaching or anything like that. I might go wrong the very next day, maybe even today. If
Hmm.
I get to see, I'll just go for. See, this is not my problem. But if I done something wrong, I should admit it, and then that is my point. Everybody does mistake. I mean, I'm not a perfect person. I know that.
Of course.
So obviously, we all know what we are doing. So just go for a fact check. Just
Right.
think about it. That's the only thing.
Right.
Right, right.
So basically, I think not just me, a lot of people feel and agree to it that, Malayalam cinema really pushes its boundaries when it comes to storytelling. And we also feel that this kind of film could have been made from this industry itself. So do you feel you could have made this film exactly like how it is right now from any other industry?
I think I don't feel it is impossible. Okay, I mean it is definitely possible. I don't see, even when you're saying Ashmita, I totally respect what you're saying. I mean, so happy to hear that there are brilliant filmmakers from Malayalam. I mean, there, but I still go for the other side.
Hmm.
What I allowed was the Rang De Vasanthi thing that
Right.
came up
Mhm.
from Dina. So
Correct.
I'm going back to the other thing. And also there are beautiful filmmakers from the Tamil industry, Mani Ratnam sir, Shankar sir, and even now we are seeing Prashant Neel, what do you say, and then Rajamouli sir.
Hmm.
And then coming to Malayalam industry, I'm not taking anybody names because hell lot of legends
A
are there.
never-ending list.
Yes, yes. Because I know them. I know them quite a few personally. I've gone to them. I've taken pictures with them. So I'm a great fan of Malayalam. So why I'm saying about the North filmmakers or someone whom I respect or admire, Rajkumar Hirani films. Just imagine the PK and the idea of thought they have brought in, and the placement was so connecting. You know, it's in a fun manner. Munna Bhai MBBS, all those things. I love it to the core, man. Even those films are references for us.
Okay.
So those filmmakers are there who's inspiring us. So it's my movie. I wouldn't say it is my own thing, my original content, nothing like that. Mine is an inspired film, and I truly believe the North Indian filmmakers which I just mentioned, they are also getting it from many inspirations. So none of them it's original. It's all inspired. But I got to make this Jana Gana Mana, that's it. And I'm pretty sure this movie is possible in North India or maybe but what our intention was this to make it more Indian. So just to avoid that biasing. Okay,
Correct.
I'm coming from the north. See, when we are talking like Ashmita and then Shubdeep and then Arup, when we are talking, we are all connected, right? I mean, that's the main thing. You don't feel like, okay, Are Baba, you're from the north. What are you talking? Nothing like that. We are all connected. So that's the same thing. In the same way, that is my ideology and my thought. So I think it is possible, even if I'd gone to Bombay or Mumbai or somewhere, and then I've connected to artists, and then if it is given me an opportunity, I'll do it in Mumbai. Or maybe my point is there are other filmmakers who would love to make it. Maybe the idea got cracked here in Kerala in Marine Drive. That could be the reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
So well said, Dijo, because with the rise of South Indian cinema, or for that matter, the exposure of South Indian cinema that we are getting in North India and otherwise now, there seems to be this idea which is keeping on coming. Okay, Bollywood is going to end and everything. But the way you say it, it makes that one does not have to fall for the other to rise, right? We can coexist.
Exactly.
Right. We can
Very
all
true.
rise
Very true.
together.
Exactly. As in, there is nothing like Bollywood, Collywood, Mollywood, or nothing like that. I mean, it is our Indian films. I mean, what we make. We've been watching all those. So, like I said, I was inspired from those legendary movies. And many others like Munna Bhai MBBS, lot of things. I'm a happy-go-lucky man. I love, but the point is, what I made was thrillers and when you're talking also, I'm a jolly, happy-go-lucky. I love comedy films, to be honest. But I don't think I'll get to make one.
No, we'll wait for that day also.
Yeah.
When we see a
Please do.
comedy movie from you.
Let's see.
Tell us about Viraj, the producer. Like, he previously also backed up Kuruthi, which is also a very strong political statement. So he uses his superstar presence as well as financial aid for something so relevant at this time. So is he all courageous and he is all for this kind of, relevant political films in real life as well? Does that work that way?
Prithviraj Sukumaran. I mean, I'm so happy that I could sit with him, have a tea, or maybe have a conversation with him. I never thought, okay, because before getting into Jana Gana Mana, I had already pitched 2 subjects. That didn't work out for me. Okay, that was one was a comedy genre thing, and then the other was a different thing. So luckily, this thing worked, really worked, but the point was the wrong time. And then after Jana Gana Mana's courtroom drama, we all got COVID, and that was a huge news here. And then only he started Kurdi, and Kurdi was shot. So the COVID time, I mean, he's a professional guy. I mean, no words for Prithviraj. What I don't know when he gets time to see. I mean, he directs movie. He's a brilliant actor. What not, man? I mean, how can we? He's a brilliant producer. The Prithviraj Productions, he himself and then Supriya, both of them are doing the. So he's on to everything. I mean, he brought KGF here in Malayalam, and not just Prithviraj Productions. I would like to add Magic Frames. Jana Gana Mana is backed by 2 production team. Both of them work mutually, and that really helped me.
Okay.
So Magic Frames has Liston Stephen heading it, and Prithviraj Productions being headed by Prithviraj and Supriya. So both of them, it's a different thing. Okay, so when I'm working in the movie, I mean, a lot of scenes are going on. Suddenly, Liston, the head of Magic Frames, he comes in, he says, Dijo, this is too much. I mean, we are going on budget like this and that. What is this, what is that? I mean, it's a fight, so this fight
Right.
needs to be there, okay, with the
Yeah.
director. That is the director's role, handling all the pressure and delivering the sweetest moment. That is his job, I think. So everything has to be there in the head. So fighting with Liston, and suddenly after the fight, there's a message from Prithviraj. Dijo, this is your movie. We want it in the best way. Liston will say this and that. You shoot it like what you want. See, that's the so what happens is, like, it's a good cop, bad cop thing. Okay, so
Right.
Prithviraj, both of them fights. Okay, but then finally Prithviraj is giving me a, like, he says, Dijo, do it in the best way. Okay, ultimately this is your movie, and second movie you have to make it big, and this is a real big thing, etc. On the other side, listen says, Dijo, tomorrow shoot is not possible. That is the so it's a complimentary thing for from both sides. And Prithviraj Sukumaran Productions, Kurdi was just produced by Prithviraj Productions. Okay, and he read the script during the COVID days, I think, and then he decided to do it. He wanted it badly to be done, and that's how after Jana Gana Mana, he went with the team, and then that was done. It was shot only for 20 or 22 days or 25 days. I'm not sure. Less than 30 days anyways, and then that was done. So he has I think I wouldn't say he's a more of a he chooses political cinemas or something. The best example is he did Andhadhun's remake here in Malayalam. So he is himself, he's more on the films, I mean, he loves cinema in all ways, whether it be political or whether it be the whatsoever. He is
Bro
all
Daddy also. So
yeah, he did Bro Daddy also.
correct.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he directed his second movie is his Bro Daddy. And what he's saying, when I was talking to Raju also, he was saying, Dijo, we don't get to do a second movie in this kind of genre. Okay, I found it really interesting. I did it. That happened, so that is there in my filmography. Else that wouldn't have been there. So he's a different guy. I mean, we all look up to him. So he's a mentor to me.
Okay.
I talked to him, brother, is this good? I mean, this decision. So I mean, he's a very sweet guy. I mean, he's we are all happy to have him in Malayalam industry. I mean, we are all proud to have him in the Malayalam industry. That's the
We all are.
Wow. Amazing.
No, I mean, just to add to Aru, if Prithviraj Sukumaran had said a no, whom would I place it there?
Yes.
After the production, I would have got somebody else. But having him say a no, then whom should I don't find a person, because we are all fans of films like Pink, Amitabh Bachchan doing or Jolly LLB. Those are all thoughts, right? I mean, that happened in the court drama. Or maybe there was a movie, Akshay Khanna also doing a court drama. That was a brilliant movie.
Section 375.
Section 375. I watched it, super movie. So these are all what movies, man. So in the code, that stuck to the code. So I watched it because in my first movie also there was a code drama.
Yes.
So so I all watch these code dramas, etc. So if he had told a no, the film would not be there. That's him. That's Prithviraj.
When are we expecting the sequel to come out? Any plans? Anything that you have thought about? Any target that you have in mind for the sequel?
No. Actually, what I think is, like, when we stick to a target, I mean, things wouldn't happen.
Okay.
So just like the discussions that is happening between me and my writer and myself, when I'm expecting a call from him. I mean, just like the olden days.
Right.
He'll
That's
give
so
a call.
good.
Are you free? Yes, I'm free. Let's sit, and then we'll discuss. That is how film should happen. So, like, if we go for what do you say, specific movie, Are Baba, I want something like this, then I don't think that will work for me. First, the storyline, the plot, etc., should excite, give a kick to me, and then we'll start building up myself and writer. And once that is done, no, I mean, we are all. We'll start it right away, and then it will creating a movie or the shooting process. I don't think it's a task, because we are bound to do that. Professionally, we are all for that. The creating that on paper, that is the major area. I mean, the pre-production, having the full script done, That's the area where then it's all add-on or maybe bonus that we do.
Okay.
Right.
I think we are towards the end of the discussion, Dijo. And let me tell you what a fantastic discussion this was, and how enriched we are by interacting with you, and the way the candidly you told us about everything about the whole movie making process. Thank you so much, Dijo. It was so much fun and so much enjoyable to talk to you and learn more about the film. And we wish you all the best.
Fan moment. I'm still having a fan moment.
I'm fan of your YouTube reviews, Ashmita. I'm great fan of your YouTube reviews.
Oh my god! Oh no! Where do I have it my face?
No, I mean that is also an art, So that's what I said. Everything is an art. I respect everybody, but the thought that you should take from it, that depends on you. That is the only thing.
Right. So
thank you so much, Dijo. It was such a great experience.
Thank you so much, Arup, for giving me a call. I was so surprised to have you on a call, man. I mean, you said people from Kolkata. We saw this. So I was in Calcutta, right? I mean that.
Yes.
Saw? Yeah. Yes. So I was so happy though. I said, "Oh, great, we'll have it." I was traveling in between, so. Thanks, Arup. Thank you for that wonderful call, man. Thank you so much, man. Shubdeep, Ashmita, love you all, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dijo.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.